Hey everybody, welcome on in to Sports Live in the 215. Today we'll discuss the Phillies taking 2 of 3 from the Yankees in New York. I thought it was a really solid series win. You take 2 of 3 from a quality Yankees team, a team that's fighting for an AL wildcard spot. It's just that's just a huge series win. Obviously, a bit of a letdown in the final game, which we'll get to. But overall, I'm very happy. You take again 2 or 3 from a quality ball club like the Yankees, and there's reason for optimism in the city of brotherly love, and the surrounding area, all around the Delaware Valley. There should be smiles on every Phillies fan's face. So, with that being said, let's get into it. Game one was a 12-5 Phillies victory. Taijuan Walker started this game. He went 5 and 2 innings, or 5 and 2/3 innings. My fault. 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 5 walks. Or wait, or no home runs. My fault. Um, th- 3 walks and um 3 home runs allowed. I thought Taiwan was um up and down. I thought he had some good moments. Obviously, the 3 home runs were his bad moments. Um, but all in all, I thought he was good. Obviously, a a good performance isn't what the Phillies paid that big contract to Taijuan Walker for. They paid a pretty premium price point. They it that contract cost a pretty penny. Excuse me. Um, so 3 runs all on solos in 5 and 2/3 innings. Um, 6 hits isn't exactly what you're looking for, but the Phillies will take it. Following that, Tanner Banks finished off the 6th inning. Um, but before he did, he allowed 1 hit, followed by a strikeout, and then Jordan Romano went 1 inning, allowed 2 hits, 2 earned runs, um, struck out 1, gave up 1 home run, and then Orion Kirkering went 1 inning, gave up 1 hit, struck out 2. Daniel Robert went 1 inning. He gave up no runs, so just like a few ground outs and flyouts, and the Phillies were able to get the win on a night where they put up 12 runs on, let's see how many hits. 12 runs. I hold on, let me 12 runs on 14 hits. So I mean this offense really started this series off with a bang. It was always good to see that. And yeah, I mean 12-5 victory, you'll take that any day of the week. And yeah, so with that being said, we move on to Saturday, and let's see how that game shook out. On Saturday, the Phillies won that ball game by a score of 9-4, highlighted by a Ranger Suarez 5 2/3, 7 hit, 1 run, 8 strikeout performance. And he did mix in a walk, or he did mix in a walk in there as well. Although the stats show some pretty good numbers for Ranger, I just didn't think he was as sharp as he normally is. He was It felt like he was trying to be a little bit too fine with a lot of his pitches, but he gave us 5 2/3 quality innings, and you'll take that any day of the week. He just went out there cool, calm, and collected, and really really battled his tail off, um, and yeah, was able to keep a good Yankee lineup off balance. On Saturday, it was actually the Yankees' first game without Aaron Judge. He hurt himself on Friday. I want to say he might have collided with the wall. Yeah, and or actually, if I'm wrong, obviously correct me in the comments. But yeah, having have not having to contend with the superstar ability of Aaron Judge was huge for Ranger in this outing. Really, the whole pitching staff, but he was able to really keep a good Yankee lineup off balance, and it showed. Obviously he put up good numbers in this outing, but I think this is an outing where you can't really look at the stats and allow them to kind of tell the whole, or the stats for Ranger really don't tell the whole story. I just didn't think he was as sharp as he normally is, and you could tell by the amount of time um, he was taking in between pitches. Um, Normally, Ranger is a guy that once he gets the ball back from JT, he's on the mound ready to throw the next pitch. And a lot of times during this outing, he was kind of walking around the mound, thinking a lot. And when Ranger gets caught in his head, that's when he starts to struggle. And there were pockets in this game where he definitely did struggle. But all in all, I thought he was solid, but it was just an un-Ranger like performance. And yeah, I mean, if 5 2/3 of 1 run ball is if I can consider that an un-Ranger like performance, if he's on his game, imagine what that could look like. So, um, all in all, I'm really not too worried about it. I think I I just think Ranger didn't um, necessarily have his best stuff, and sometimes that happens with starting pitchers. Um, they just don't have their normal A+ stuff, and the fact that he had more of his B- C stuff, and he was able to um, get us through 5 2/3 innings and allow only 1 run was absolutely huge, and that just shows um, what a good pitcher that guy is, and that he should be considered one of the best starters in the game. I really don't know how he's still considered underrated by most people in and around baseball. or even baseball fans, it's like how are more people not noticing Ranger? And I think it's because he doesn't have the high strikeout numbers. He doesn't have like a Paul Skeens 98-mile-per-hour fastball or the arsenal of a Tariq Skubal or a Zach Wheeler. So the casual baseball fan isn't gonna watch a Ranger Suarez start and say, "Wow." They're they're gonna say, "What's so special about him?" And unfortunately, I think that's the case with Rangers with Rangers his game and really his style of pitching is it's not the flashiest, but it is effective. It's a very Jamie Moyer um it's a very Jamie Moyer way to think about pitching. And it's unfortunate that a lot of casual fans they don't see that as sexy. They don't see that as um what's the word I'm looking for? They don't see that as appealing, which sucks because if you really understand the game, it's there are a lot of guys where you kind of have to look beyond the numbers in some of their appearances and starts and or you kind of have to look beyond the numbers in some of their appearances or starts to kind of really appreciate them, and that's the type of pitcher and player Ranger is sometimes the stats don't always tell the whole story, but um yeah, I thought he was really good on Saturday, and with that being said, I'll get into the rest of the Phillies pitching staff. Um, and then following Ranger, Max Lazar went a third of an inning. He got us through the sixth, and then Daniel Robert Daniel Robert gave us one inning, one hit, um, two earned runs, one walk, one strikeout, and a two-run home run allowed. And then Alan Rangel came in, went one inning, no hits, one earned run, three walks, a strikeout, and then Seth Johnson went one inning and then struck out two. In the Phillies, let's check the score. 9-4 victory. So I mean, you'll take that any day of the week, especially when one of your best starting pitchers isn't necessarily his sharpest, but he gives you enough to get the win. And this offense, 9 runs on 13 hits. Great day again. And with that being said, let's talk about Game 3. In Game 3, the Phillies sent Zach Wheeler to the mound, hoping to earn a sweep. While they're hoping to earn a sweep in their time in the Bronx, but it didn't turn out that way. The Yankees came away with a 4-3 victory. And again, Zach Wheeler wasn't his typical Zach Wheeler self. He wasn't his sharpest. Um, five 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. Um, he just wasn't your prototypical Zach Wheeler. He wasn't as dominant as he normally is, and and Rodon, I feel like, did just enough to keep the Phillies kind of off balance, keep them at bay just enough. Otto Kemp hit 2 big home runs, but they weren't enough, as they were solo shots. And in Game 3, I don't think they did well enough. They did enough in terms of timely hitting, hitting with runners on base, stuff like that. So, um, yeah, I mean, it sucks to lose the getaway game in a series where you have a chance to sweep a quality ball club, and especially when you're in the middle of a division race where the Mets are on such a great winning streak. So hopefully the Giants can do us a favor on that front, and we can stay um, a half game back of the Mets. So um, all in all, I think the Phillies did a good job taking 2 or 3 from a really good Yankees team. And yeah, you'll take 2 or 3 2 wins in 3 games on the road any day of the week, especially in the bandbox that is Yankee Stadium. So with that being said, now we go to Chicago to face one of the worst teams in all of baseball in the Chicago White Sox. And with that being said, thank you guys for listening to this, and as always, go Phillies.